Hi everyone, it's Shell from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. Today's day 6 in the 2025 Countdown to Christmas series with Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations. And today is one of my favorite techniques, mystery card. So Marie and I came up with 4 categories and then we each chose 4 different options under each category for the other person. So instead of doing 2 and 2, we decided to have 4 different prompts for everything. So she and I are going to have completely different cards. And I got dark blue and teal, a 5x7 scene card using watercolor. This one really stumped me because the dark blue and teal, I'm like, what am I going to do? So I went through my supplies and I found a background die that I liked. I used it on watercolor cardstock. Now, this doesn't actually cut anything out. It more impresses the image, and I probably should have used the embossing sandwich, but I didn't, but it still came out with some texture. And using these distress inks to watercolor the background, you really can see the image. So I'm using those 4 colors to ink up the background. And while I'm doing that, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about the series. So if you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Marie and I pick 25 different themes, techniques, ideas, put them into a randomizer, and do videos every Monday and Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we are loving this. This is the 3rd year that we've done this together. So at the end, you will have 150 videos with 75 different techniques. We have not repeated one from the prior years, which is pretty amazing. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do that next year. I don't know if we can come up with 25 brand new ones, but we will do our best to try to do that. So I will leave a link to Marie's channel below. She has a link to all of the playlists, so from previous years as well as this year, and then I'll have my intro video and she will have her intro video linked on her channel. So make sure you guys go over and check that out. All right, so back to the card. I used an MFT scene die to stamp out the image as well as the greeting, but we're actually not going to use that. I end up not using the greeting part of it. I did use a scrap of cardstock that I had that was cut off the bottom of this piece, and I went over it with the 2 dark blues for Distress Oxide, which are Chipped Sapphire, and I believe the other one is Prized Ribbon. So I'm going to go over that, and we're going to stamp the sentiment on it. I do not wait as long as I probably should have to keep that dry. And you don't see me stamping it because there's nothing really different about stamping. It's just me stamping onto the cardstock. I used a die from Mama Elephant to kind of create a frame on this. I thought the image was really, really pretty, and I didn't love the way the sentiment stamped at the top. So I'm going to use my Bearly Arts glue to go ahead and attach that frame to the front of the image, and it'll just be the scene. I did try to cut out the sentiment. I couldn't find anything that would just cut that out because I thought that would look nice at the bottom instead of the piece that I watercolored, but it didn't work. I couldn't find anything, and I was running out of time. So I am just going to use that little piece of paper for spacing. The card base is 5x7, and I'm using my Bearly Arts glue to attach the image to the front of the card. And then, like I said, we will stamp out the sentiment, and then I will glue that onto the front of the card. So this one was a quick and easy card. The longest part was actually stamping out the images because they had there was some texture to the background because I ran it through that embossing die, and it just took a little bit for the image to actually stamp completely. So I was glad that I used my stamp wheel, which I absolutely love. If you guys don't have one, if you want to put it on your holiday list, that is wonderful. I use mine all the time. I really don't use my Misty anymore. I use that a lot. So I'm just going to go back over the image or that little sentiment strip with a couple colors of the blue. And once that was semi-dry, I stamped out the sentiment, and then I'm going to glue it down to the bottom. And that is the card for today, quick and easy. If you guys have any comments or questions, make sure that you leave them below. Make sure that you head over to Marie's channel to check out what she creates. I have not seen it, so I'm very excited to see what she creates and what prompts she got. And I will see you again real soon for another video. Bye!